We're gonna kick things off with a scene, a moment that is just way too real for millions of people. It's that quiet panic you feel in your car that actually captures a massive national problem.
I want you to just imagine this. You did everything you were supposed to do. You got the degree, you landed the job, and now you're sitting in a parking lot, frantically doing mental math to figure out if you can even afford groceries. This isn't just some hypothetical, you know? This is the reality for a person we're going to call Alex, and it's a feeling that honestly defines a generation.
And that really gets us to the heart of this whole thing. How did we get here? How did this promise of higher education, the ultimate investment in your future, turn into this source of just crushing anxiety and financial stress?
To figure that out, we have to look at the numbers. And I don't mean the ones in those glossy college brochures. I mean the numbers on the actual bill. A bill that has exploded to over $1 trillion across the country.
The sales pitch is just so compelling, isn't it? We've all heard it a million times. College is the key. That debt, oh, that's good debt because it's going to pay for itself over and over again. It's the one move you have to make to guarantee your future.
But here's where things just totally break down. On one side, you've got the promise, right? It's filled with these pictures of smiling graduates and talk about lifetime earnings. And then on the other side, you've got the actual price tag. Decades of payments that literally control where you can live, when you can start a family, and if you could even handle a small emergency.
Okay, so let's start with what's supposed to be the affordable option. The average total cost for just 4 years at a public, in-state school is now deep into 6 figures. I mean, remember when people said you could work a summer job to pay for college? Yeah, not anymore. Not even close.
And if you're even thinking about a private university, well, that number more than doubles. We're talking about the price of a house in a lot of places in this country, all for a 4-year degree. It's wild.
And this isn't just about a few people making bad choices. When you add it all up, the total student loan debt in America is a staggering $1.75 trillion. To put that in perspective, that is more than the entire economic output of Australia. This is a national crisis that's just playing out one bank account at a time. Okay, now this is where that giant number gets personal. This is Alex's actual monthly budget. After that huge student loan payment, rent, her car, and just basic stuff like food, she's left with only $470. That's it. That has to cover savings, emergencies, trying to have a social life, anything. It's a financial tightrope every single month.
And believe me, this isn't some short-term problem you just get over. That debt turns into a 21-year anchor chained to your leg. While friends who maybe chose different paths are hitting those big life milestones, buying a house, getting married, Alex is still sending a massive chunk of her paycheck to a loan company. She'll be 43 years old when she is finally free.
So this all leads to the one question that really matters. Is it even a good investment anymore? We're told over and over that it is. But does the return on that investment, the ROI, actually justify this enormous cost and all this risk?
And this just perfectly illustrates the gamble you're taking. New research shows that 28%, that's nearly 1 out of every 3 bachelor's degrees, actually has a negative return on investment. That means you are financially worse off than if you had never gone to college in the first place.
And the difference between majors is just insane. Look at this. A computer engineering degree from a top school could create over $7 million in lifetime value. But a drama degree from another famous school could leave you over $500,000 in the hole. You're making a choice when you're 17 years old that could be the difference between creating generational wealth and creating generational debt.
And here is the real kicker. More than half of all recent college grads are underemployed. They're working jobs that don't even require their degree, all while carrying tens of thousands in debt. The system sold them a key for a door that, for them, is still locked.
So how did this whole game get so rigged? Why have costs just completely exploded while the value has become so questionable? To get that, we have to look at what's happening behind the scenes.
It really just boils down to 3 big things: a crazy increase in administrative staff, universities trying to one-up each other with luxury facilities, and a federal loan system that's just pouring gasoline on the fire.
Check out this data. Universities hired administrators more than twice as fast as they hired actual teachers. These are people who get paid from your tuition dollars, but they're not the ones in the classroom. It's gotten so wild that Yale now has more administrators than it has undergrad students.
Then you've got this amenities arms race. To get more students in the door, colleges are building these luxury resort-style facilities. We're talking lazy rivers, massive rec centers, and they're funding it all with student fees and tuition hikes. You're basically paying for a resort experience. not just in education.
And this right here, this is the engine that makes the whole thing go. See, when the government guarantees that students can borrow almost unlimited amounts of money, universities have absolutely zero reason to keep costs down. Why would they? For every new dollar the government offers in aid, they just raise tuition and grab most of it, which transfers all the financial risk straight to you, the student.
So, after hearing all that, what can you actually do? How do you make a smarter choice in a system like this? Well, this last part is all about looking at other options and asking the really tough questions before you sign anything.
Just look at the raw numbers when you compare different paths. A 4-year degree, like the one Alex got, costs almost $100,000 for a starting salary of $54K. Meanwhile, an electrician can start earning more money right out of the gate after going to a trade school that costs a tiny fraction of that. And coding boot camps? An even faster, cheaper path to a great career. The data is practically screaming at us here.
So before you or someone you know commits, you have to do the brutal math, not the happy marketing math. What will you really earn? How much debt will you actually have? And here's a big one. What is the opportunity cost of spending 4 years in school not earning an income? You got to treat this like the massive financial decision that it is. And that leaves us with this final, kind of chilling thought. Alex, sitting in that Target parking lot, didn't fail. The financial stress, the decades of debt, that's not a bug in the system. It's a feature. This system is designed to maximize revenue for colleges and dump all the risk on students. And from that perspective, it's working perfectly. The real question is,